Hello, good morning everyone. So today in this video we'll discuss MIS subject Management Information System subject. So in this video we'll discuss the chapter 7 Securing Information System of MIS subject. So let us start. Securing Information System. First one is security. So security is defined as the policies, procedures, and technical measures used to prevent unauthorized access, alternation, theft, or physical damage to information system. Controls. Controls is defined as the method, policies, and organizational procedures that ensure safety of organizations, assist accuracy and reliability of its accounting records, and operational adherence to management standards. Now, why systems are vulnerable? Systems are vulnerable because they are interconnected and can be accessed from any point in the connection. This interconnectivity increases the possibility for unauthorized access to private and sensitive materials. Fraud, misuse of abuse systems are vulnerable because of first, hardware problem like breakdown, configuration errors, damage from improper use or crime. Second one is software problem like programming error, installation error, unauthorized changes. Next one is disasters like power failures, flood fires, etc. And the fourth one is uses of networks and computers outside of firm's control. Example with domestic or offshore outsourcing vendors. So now next topic is internet vulnerabilities. So vulnerability is a cybersecurity term that refers to a flaw in the system that can leave it open to attack. Some internet vulnerabilities are: first one is network open to anyone. Second, size of internet means abuse can have wide impact. Next one is use of fixed internet address with permanent connection to internet eases identification by hackers. Next one is email attachments. Next one is email used for transmitting trade secrets. Next one is IM messages lack security, can be easily intercepted. So now moving to our next topic, wireless security challenges. So wireless security refers to the protection of the wireless network itself from adversaries seeking to damage the confidentiality, integrity, or availability of the network. So wireless network security is the process of designing, implementing, and ensuring security on a wireless computer network. Wireless security is the prevention of unauthorized users from accessing your wireless network and stealing the data using your Wi-Fi network. The wireless security challenges are: first one is radio frequency bands easy to scan, and the second one is SSIDs, service set identifiers. So service set identifiers is a sequence of characters that uniquely names a wireless local area network. Service set identifiers identifies access point and broadcast multiple times. The third one is ward driving. Ward driving is the act of searching for Wi-Fi wireless networks, usually from a moving vehicle using a laptop or smartphones. First one is WEP, Wired Equivalent Privacy. WEP is a security protocol specified in the IEEE Wireless Fidelity Wi-Fi standard 802.11b. That standard is designed to provide a wireless local area network WLAN with a level of security and privacy comparable to what is usually expected of a wired LAN. So WEP is a security protocol for Wi-Fi networks. WEP is considered as a form of security protocol that was designed in order to provide a level of security and privacy to WLAN comparable to what is normally expected of WLAN. So now moving to our next topic, malicious software, or malicious software is also known as malware. So malicious software is defined as any type of software that is intended to harm or hack the user. Next one is viruses. Viruses is defined as a malicious piece of computer code designed to spread from the device to device. A subject of malware, these self-copying threats are usually designed to damage the device or steal data. Worms. Worms is defined as an independent computer programs that copy themselves from one computer to other computer over a network. A worm is a form of malicious software that operates as a self-contained application and can transfer and copy itself from computer to computer. So next topic is Trojan horses. Trojan horses is a software program that appears to be benign, but then does something other than expected. Next one is spyware. Spyware is a software with malicious behavior that aims to gather the information about a person or organization and send it to another entity in a way that harms the user. Example, by violating their privacy or endangering their device security. Next topic is keyloggers. Keyloggers is a computer program that records every keystroke made by a computer user, especially in order to gain the fraudulent access to password and other confidential information. Hacker. Hacker is defined as the individual who intends to gain unauthorized access to a computer system. Phishing. Phishing is defined as a type of social engineering attack often used to steal user data, including logging credentials and credit card numbers. Identity theft. Identity theft is defined as the crime of obtaining the personal or financial information of another person to use their identity to commit fraud, such as making unauthorized transactions or purchases. This is done in many different ways, and its victims are typically left with damage to their credit, finances, and reputation. Next one is spoofing. Spoofing is the act of distinguishing a communication from an unknown sources as being from a known trusted source. Spoofing can apply to emails, phone calls, websites, etc. Now next is sniffer. Sniffer refers to the monitoring of internet traffic in real time. Example, where it's coming from, which device, the protocol used, etc. DOS, denial of service attacks. DOS is a type of cyber attack designed to disable, shut down, or disrupt a network, website, or services. Example, server busy for sleep. DDoS, distributed denial of service attack. DDoS is defined as the use of numerous computers to launch a DOS. Next is SQL injection attack. SQL injection attack is defined as a type of cyber attack in which a hacker uses a pieces of SQL code to manipulate a database and gain access to potentially valuable information. Next one is computer crime. A computer crime is also called as a cyber crime. It is defined as the use of computer as an instrument to further illegal ends such as committing frauds, trafficking in a child pornography, and intellectual property, stealing identifies, or violating privacy. It is also known. It is also defined as any violations of criminal law that involve a knowledge of computer technology for their preparation, investigation, or prosecution. Sorry, prosecute. precision, Preusetion. So, computer may be instrument of crime, example theft of trade secrets and using emails for threats or harassments. So now next one is Evil Twins. Evil Twins is a wireless network that pretends to offer trustworthy Wi-Fi connection to the internet. Farming. Farming is a cyber attack intended to redirect user to a bogus web page even when individual types correct web page address into his or her browser. Next one is click fraud. Click fraud is defined as the individual or computer program clicks online ad without any intention of learning more or making a purchase. Next one is global threats. Global threats is a concern that internet vulnerabilities and other network makes digital networks easy targets for digital attacks by terrorists, foreign intelligence services or other groups. Next one is cyber terrorism. Cyber terrorism is a criminal who uses computer technology and the internet especially to cause fear and disruption. Next one is cyber warfare. So cyber warfare is a combination of computer network attack and defense and special technical operations. Next one is internal threats. Internal threats refers to the risks of somebody from the inside of a company who could exploit a system in a way to cause damage or steal data. Next one is social engineering. Social engineering is the art of manipulating people so they give up confidential information. Criminals use social engineering tactics because it is usually easier to exploit your natural inclination to trust than it is to discover ways to hack your software. Next one is business value of security and control. Now, so security and control provides a lot of business value for an organization. Without the two, a business can crumble due to loss of information and data that is needed for the company's operation. Lack of security control can lead to first one is loss of revenue. Um, uh, and that means if a failed computer system can lead to significant or total loss of business function. Second is lowered market value. Third one is legal liability. Fourth one is higher operational costs. Fifth one is lowered employee productivity. Now moving to our next topic, legal and regulatory requirements for electronic record management. So electronic record management ERM is defined as the management of electronic files and documents as records. The legal and regulatory requirements for electronic record management are at HIPAA. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act is defined as a medical security and privacy rules and procedures. Gramm-Leach-Billy Act. Gramm-Leach-Billy Act is an act which requires financial institution companies that offer consumers final products or services like loans, financial or investment advice to explain their information, sharing practices to their customers, and to safeguard sensitive data. Its main objective is to ensure that financial institutions and their affiliates safeguard the confidentiality of personally identifiable information PII gathered from customer records in a paper, electronic or other forms. And the I think third one is Sarbanes-Oxley Act. It is an act which imposes responsibility on companies and their management to safeguard the accuracy and integrity of financial information that is used internally and released externally. Next one is computer forensics. Computer forensics is defined as the discipline that combines elements of law and computer science to collect and analyze the data from the computer system, network, wireless communications, and storage devices. Now, moving to our next topic, establishing a framework or security and control. So, First one is information system control. Information system control are a set of procedures and technological measures to ensure secure and efficient operation of information within an organization. General control. General control is defined as the combination of hardware, software, and manual procedures to create overall control environment. Types of general control are first software control, hardware control, computer operational control, uh, data security control, implementation control, administrative control. So, software control refers to the program that monitors, control, coordinates, and manages the resources and functions of a computer system. Hardware control refers to the program that ensures computer hardware, which is physically secure and check for equipment malfunction. Next one is computer operations control. Computer operations control refers to the control program which oversee the work of the computer department to ensure that the program procedures are consistently and correctly applied to the storage and processing of data. Data security control refers to the program which ensure that valuable business data files on either disk or tape are not subjected to authorized access, change or destruction while they are in the use or in the storage. Implementation control refers to the program which audit the system development process at various points to ensure that the process is properly controlled and managed. Administrative control refers to the program which formalizes as standards, rules, procedures, and control discipline to ensure that the organization's general and application control are properly executed and enforced. Next topic is application control. Application control is a security practice that blocks and restricts unauthorized application from executing in ways that puts data at risk. Type of application control. First one is input control. Input control checks the data for accuracy and completeness when they enter the system. Second is processing control. Processing control establishes that data are complete and accurate during updating. And the last one is output control. Output control ensures that the result of computer processing are accurate, complete, and properly distributed. Moving to our next topic, risk assessment. Risk assessment is defined as a systematic process of identifying hazards and evaluating any associated risks within a workplace, then implementing reasonable control measures to remove or reduce them. The types of threat in risk assessment are probability of occurrence during a year, potential loss is value of threat, expected annual loss. Now moving to our next topic, security policy. Security policy is a written document in an organization outlining how to protect the organization from threats including computer security threats and how to handle situations when they do occur. Acceptable Use Policy AUP. AUP is a document that outlines a set of rules to be followed by users or customers of a set of computing resources, which could be a computer network, website, or large computer system. Now, next one is authorization policies. Authorization policies refers to determine different level of users access to information assets. Next topic is authorization management system. Authorization management system is defined as a system for allowing its users access only to those portion of a system or the web that person is permitted to enter based on information established by a set of access rules. Now the next topic is disaster recovery planning. DRP. DRP is defined as a document structure approach that describes how an organization can quickly resume work after an unplanned incident. Or DRP is also defined as a business plan that describes how work can be resumed quickly and effectively after a disaster. Next one is business continuity planning. Business continuity planning is defined as the process involved in creating a system of prevention and recovery from potential threats to a company. Business continuity planning is a document that outlines how a business will continue operating during an unplanned disruption in service. Next topic is MIS audit. MIS audit is an examination of control within an IT infrastructure. MIS audit examines firms' overall security environment as well as controls governing individual information system. So now next topic is access control. Access control refers to the policies and procedures to prevent improper access to system by unauthorized insiders and outsiders. Next topic is authorization. Authorization is the process of giving someone permission to do or have something. Next topic is authentication. Authentication is the process of recognizing a user's identity, example, password system, token, OTP, smart cards, etc. Next topic is RTO, recovery time objective. RTO is defined as the maximum amount of time allocated for restoring application functionally. RPO, recovery point objective. RPO is defined as the acceptable time window of lost data due to the recovery process. Next topic is why disaster recovery is needed. Disaster recovery is needed because cost efficiency, increase employee productivity, greater customer retention, and the last one is a better understanding of scalability. You can write these 4 points or you may write these 5 points. These 5 points are so many, these 5 points are easier, so it will be better to write below 5 points, which are natural disaster, hardware failure, human errors, cyber crimes, customer service. Now the next topic is firewall. Firewall is a hardware or software that prevent unauthorized access to private networks. Next, and I think that it is the last one, intrusion detection system. It is a device or software application that monitors networks or system for malicious activity or policy violations. Thank you dear viewers for watching my video. Thank you very much for watching my video, and keep supporting, keep liking like this, and please keep sharing. Thank you very much.